Hello, everyone.
Hi guys.
How's it going? Nice to have you,
I'm
Andy.
yeah, I'm back, mate. Nice to be back. I'm excited.
I
So
can,
excited.
I can tell you're beaming ear to ear.
Yeah, I mean, just ditch FPL in the bin. It's like it's such a struggle. Like you just think this is the week I can get it, and then nope, still 4 million overall rank. So just get. I'll keep plodding away. I'll keep enjoying it, but this is where it's at now, isn't it? This is the main thing, main
Oh, mate,
event.
I've stuck FPL in the bin a long time ago. Do you know I'm lower than you, and
I've seen it. Yeah.
yeah, I've taken I think maybe two or three -16s in the last 3 weeks because I've completely given up. I didn't even have any issues. Just thought, forget it. Just gonna bring in players on a whim. I just don't care
Yeah,
anymore.
go for it. I mean, I looked at the tables. I think there was. Can't remember what league it was. I was like second bottom, but you were just below me. So I was thinking, yeah, we we care about Champ Man more, so it's
Yeah,
fine. It's
you
all
can
good.
always count on me to sort of help you out if you're feeling bad. Just look at my fantasy FPL team; it'll always be there.
No, we'll do. But what are you going to do with no Champ Man to play? Because you'll be having a
I
dead team as
know.
well.
I'm a
So
little sad inside. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, once the dead team's picked, and obviously I'm just going to be relying on the banter and looking at all your guys' misery throughout the season. I think more than anything.
yeah,
Um,
I mean, you can take my role on Thursday nights and just be a troll
oh,
in the chat.
I can't live up to that standard of trolling. I'll try my best, but I think you're the master.
I'm going to enjoy Thursday nights anyway, so I'm going to try and avoid
Yeah, it's
everything.
getting very real now, isn't it? What's that? 3-4 days until we go. Um, it's
Yeah,
gonna
four more
be
sleeps. Yeah,
4 more sleeps counting down like Christmas. Love it. Look at all the chat, by the way. There are quite a few people in here. Pep Talk, David Strom. I always want to say Storm there. I wish your name was Storm. That would be the coolest surname ever. But Strom's not bad. Adam
yeah,
Sands, Steve Bird, loads of people. JJ, Scala.
yeah. Jackson. I chatted to Jack today about Everton because he's an Everton fan, and how hard is it not to have an Everton player in your team? I think his reply was, yeah, it's pretty easy because they are so bad. So.
They are pretty shite. And they play Man United away game week 1, which is a bit of a travesty, isn't it? So
Yeah,
tonight, guys, we've already done the preview. Obviously, you've already seen all of the players, their condition, their injury, and stuff. None of that's changed. We're all at that exact same point. So we're really just Andy's gonna talk us through some of these fixtures that are coming up in the next 4 or 5 weeks. He's gonna talk us through his draft team. Then we can do any requests, click any players, any questions, stuff like that, interact with chat. I've also got most of the core teams draft, which I'm going to bring up, and we're just going to go through. Hopefully, if we just sort of rate their team and stuff, anything we say may assist you guys as well. There's also a couple of people from my Discord and Twitter and stuff who have sent our team, so we'll see how long it's taking. We'll try and get through as many as we can, and obviously try not to repeat the same stuff if we can,
yeah,
but that's pretty much the plan. So, Andy, I don't know if you want to take us through your draft team first, fixtures. Where do you want to go?
yeah. I mean, sounds good. I mean, we can get my team up. I'm pretty much locked in.
Okay, let's do
I
that.
don't know. I don't know what screenshot you took because I had Ryan Giggs vice captain. I don't know if you've got that at all.
Ryan Giggs, vice captain. I think I've got the one with Terry, vice captain. That's the correct one, right?
That's what I've changed to now. Yeah, just in case the Rep 12. I was with the captain Rude Van Nistelrooy.
I think
I
that's
had Vice
smart.
on gigs, and I thought, oh yeah, Rep 12 could pop its ugly head. So
I'm just going to bring up my phone so I can make sure I can see that it's actually in the picture and it's working. Yeah, it looks good.
okay.
Small, but we're there. Right, so I've got your team on the screen. I hope you can see, just about. I don't think you can see it actually because you'll still have the active window, but it's on the stream. You know what your team is, right? Can you talk us through
Yeah,
it?
yeah, 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 yeah. So this is my team. I'm excited by it. I've been locked in for a couple of weeks now, pretty much a couple of weeks. Start with the keepers. So I've gone for the rotation. I can kind of include fixtures with this as well. So I think Poom and Jaskalainen rotate quite well early on for home fixtures. I mean, especially Bolton as well. I wanted to touch on Bolton. I think you can probably gamble with triple Bolton because of the 3 home fixtures in the opening 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
It's a gamble because obviously they blank game week 2, but 3 home fixtures in the first 4. I was tempted to put another one in there, and I think it's a good play if you have maybe like Jaskalainen and Gardner, even maybe Pedersen for those opening games because you can bench if you've got a rotating keeper, you can bench all three of them, but it's a real risk. But starting with Jääskeläinen, Poom in reserve.
I think that's
But
popular.
they'll switch. I was surprised they were 4.5, especially Poom. I thought he was good enough to maybe go to 5, but I think we've been quite kind with the high prices and strikers to put Poom at 4.5.
Yeah, it's a bit of a balancing act, isn't it? It's because we increased the price of all strikers. We kind of had to go other places, but in truth, they probably should be 5 million. I think probably.
So that's why I like the 4.5 rotation with those two. I think you could do well if you target the home fixtures. For me, you got to hopefully get some clean sheets in there, and if not, even if they're good against good teams at home, you should get save points as well. So I'm happy with that.
Nice.
The next thing is triple Man United. I think with the fixtures, the team they are, those not going triple could be hindered a bit. I think you need triple in there. I toyed with double defence, so I had Sylvester and Gary Neville, or Sylvester and Roque Jr. But in the end, I just went with the midfielder in there, and I wanted to try and get Varane and Ruud van Nistelrooy, but I wanted more of a stronger bench. So in the end, I went with Giggs.
Why Giggs over Beckham?
I like him for average rating, and I think he can match Beckham. They're pretty split. I prefer Giggs' average rating. I think it's just slightly higher.
Yeah,
it could be Giggs or Beckham. But yeah, I think Giggs' assist potential is probably more. Beckham goal potential perhaps slightly higher. But for me, Giggs.
I think Giggs has probably got a slightly higher. I mean, the goals are relatively similar. Giggs just gets higher average rating from the games when he plays usually because he has got higher dribbling stats. So you can get high rating from dribbling as Arca and Gardner can. Well, Gardner didn't really show us last season, but he can do. So yeah, I kind of like that. The only thing I'd say is Beckham plays right mid and centre midfield, doesn't he? And Giggs only plays left. So if they're throwing out those rep 12s, Beckham's got more chance, as we saw from the Charity Shield, of featuring than Giggs.
That's what I did think as well with the rep 12. But I've seen Beckham a lot more because he's more popular amongst players. So I've gone for Giggs, and I think they can match each other. So
yeah, I think it's a coin toss really on that one. And you've obviously paid the extra for Sylvester. Any idea for why we've done that?
Yeah, he's the best defender for Man U, I think. Average rating, goals. Yeah.
I agree. And then also Irwin's gone, hasn't he? So if they do rep 12, I think the only player now that's not a youth player that can even play on the left really is Phil Neville. And he's actually favoured on the right side rather than the left.
Is there anyone else apart from that or not?
I don't think
There's no
so.
one else.
We can quickly go to the game and have a look. Let me have a look. Oh yeah, there's Tierney, this guy who can play.
The ref. Everyone was like, "Is he the ref? Is he the ref?" No, he's not the ref.
Yeah, and the rest of them are just kids. So Phil Neville, if I remember rightly, he's got 20 for right side, and he's got maybe above 15, so it appears for left side here. But as a result, the game will always favour him for right side. So, long story short, Sylvester's got less competition at left back this season, so should suffer less from rep 12 than he did in season 1.
Yeah. So, would you prefer double defence, or do you just think one defender, one midfielder, and Ruud up top?
Yeah, because I'm obviously picking a dead team, so I haven't really looked. But to be honest, I would look to get Sylvester and Van Nistelrooy as a certain, and then I would obviously hope to get a third one if I could afford it. But I don't know whether I would in the end. I might just go with those two. But Varane, Keane, Beckham, even Keane, I think can do well. Giggs, Beckham, all of them can do well in midfield. Keane's obviously out injured though, isn't he, for a week?
Yeah, you can't afford two midfielders, so it's just it's just picking a midfielder for me.
Glasgow's saying how long's Emerson out? Let me just check. He's out for 3 weeks with a sprained ankle.
And Keane was out as well, wasn't he?
And Keane's out as well, yeah, for a week.
So Scholes and Varane.
Would come in, yeah. You would have thought. Right, let me.
And how much was Scholes? Was Scholes 8 million? Was he?
I'm not even sure, to be honest. He might be, yeah, something like that.
So I think I did have a quick look at Scholes and thought, am I trying to be too clever and get someone cheap? And it's just no, it's just not going to do it.
Yeah, it's a swap. It's a swap down the line, isn't it? And Keane's only out a week or so.
Yeah, I'm hoping those three. I think Sylvester is the most nailed on defender. Giggs and Beckham, coin toss, and I toyed with the idea of not having Ruud van Nistelrooy, but it's just silly, isn't it?
I think he's 78% owned.
Yeah, you're trying to be too clever if you go without Ruud. I know it's not exciting that it's a 10-player game.
Yeah.
Again, I thought we could go 14. to make it more interesting. But
yeah, probably should be, shouldn't he? Again, it's just that conscious thought of everyone's going up in price, and then people will moan even more if we put him up. But in truth, he probably should be 14 because it obviously didn't work. I mean, the opening fixtures haven't helped, right? If the fixtures were terrible, I guess you've kind of got a decision there, because I do like rotating your forwards in this game depending on their games. But I don't see any reason not to start with him. I suppose you could go York and Veron and then captain Veron and spread the money elsewhere. But yeah, you'd probably have to be pretty brave to do so.
Possibility. I know a lot of teams have got Rude and Veron in there, which I quite like as well, because Veron is better than Giggs and Beckham, reflecting the price. But for me, I just felt I could get a stronger defence, stronger bench by going Giggs. So
nice. Double Chelsea.
Yeah, good team. I really like John Terry. I think he's going to get a lot of bonus points, clean sheets in there as well. Clean sheets is obviously slightly less than United, but Terry is a monster for bonus. And I wanted a Chelsea defender in there, and I think Terry's pretty nailed. Yeah. Should have gone Desai, Babayaro, but I like Terry's average rating.
Yeah, I'm surprised with. I don't know, maybe it's just what I've seen, but I've seen a lack of people picking Chelsea, and I guess that might be because people remember season 1 and they weren't great at all for the first half. But ever since Ricks came in and they played that 4-4-2, they were pretty good. I mean, I had Carboni in my team, and I had Melchior, obviously. I had Babayaro towards the end, who got man of the match on the last day. I think they're a good source of points because their team plays in a good style, and they're consistent with their picks as well. And I think their centre backs are on man marking. So like you, I really like Terry, Desai, and then the two fullbacks have obviously got that added attacking output for that 0.5 more. So I really like him. I think they're going to do well.
Yeah, and you've got Gallas to come in, but you wouldn't expect if Gallas to come in, then you'd expect him to miss out completely and not be subbed in. And I think Terry, if he does get rotated, is not one to come on as a sub.
No, I wouldn't have thought so. Yeah, it would just be Gallas is annoying. He's hanging around there. He can come in for any of them, but over the season, I don't think it'll be much of a problem compared to just about anyone else in the game. Bramble, I think, everyone seems to have gone with him, so I'm going to skip that. I can see that's obvious reasons. He's cheap way into the Ipswich defence, isn't it, essentially?
Yeah, I mean, £1 million cheaper than Herman. Herman's probably slightly better, but not £1 million better for me. Mm-hmm. So Bramble gets the nod, 5 million, decent price.
I think Ziga. I think that's a tragedy of a pick, mate. I'll be honest.
That is the talking point in my team. Like, there's no doubt about it, because I've seen people say Fortune is playing that left wing back. If I just get the Spurs fixtures up, though, the reason I went for Ziga, because if he does start and get in, I really, really like the attacking potential for the fixtures they got. So they got Blackburn at home, Leicester away, Derby at home, and Man City at home. First 4.
Yeah, fixtures are great.
So maybe not clean sheets, but if Ziga can get in, there's attacking returns there for Ziga. If he gets in, is the problem.
Quentin Fortune's he's come from Man United, hasn't he? And he can play that position, and he's got a high rep. I think you're gonna be in pain there. I think he's gonna rotate a little bit. I'm with you if he plays, but I just think for 5 million, there's probably. I really like Peter Atherton that no one's talking about. I like him for that price.
Yeah, that's unfashionable though, isn't it? Peter Atherton. You see Peter Atherton in the team. It's a good pick, but
he gets really high average rating. Yeah, I think people are going to be surprised by him. Also, Melberg. I think Melberg's a good option. I'm not sure what their fixtures are like though, because obviously I've looked dead team. Are Villa's fixtures even any good? I don't know. They haven't got a great opening day. I'd expect.
No, they're pretty mixed. I think Villa are a no-go because of their opening fixtures. So Bolton away, Chelsea at home, Ipswich away.
Right, okay.
Opening 3, and then Man U away. I wouldn't really go for Villa to start off with.
No, I suppose not. Over the season, Villa seem to do well for goals conceded. They're in the top end of the team, so I guess that's why it appeals to me for a dead team perspective. But Pep saying Ziga's pretty injury prone as well. I think he is. Yeah, he's fairly injury prone. A lot of the Spurs players are. I don't think it's massively high. I can't remember what it is offhand, but. Yeah, I mean, he suffered for a few injuries throughout the season before, didn't he? Right, where else?
Yeah.
Dyer and Arca. I mean, those two are like two of your fanboys, aren't they?
I love the two. And I think Dyer is going to be right wing this season, which helps. Stephen Hughes, I've seen, helps the midfield. They've lost Basudas, but gained Stephen Hughes. I don't think it's much of a difference there. And from what I've seen, Dyer probably right wing, which is brilliant for him. He can get more attacking returns in that position. I love Dyer. He's great in this game. If I'm playing this game, I buy Dyer. I try and buy Arca as well. So those two for me. You know how much I love Arca. Everyone knows how much I love Arca.
They do. JJ's putting in the chat, by the way, Villa's fixtures from game week 5 are Bolton at home, Everton at home, double game week, Charlton away, Newcastle at home, Middlesbrough at home. So that looks the time to jump on them, doesn't it? I think I'm with him there.
Yeah, and I'm
cheeky defender in there.
Yeah, I mean, with this team, as you see, there's no Arsenal, Liverpool. I think the game week 5 wildcard win could be okay if one of them, if like Liverpool double, we'll get to that in a sec, but that's a possibility. So maybe Villa at that time, but opening 4 fixtures, no, not good at all.
And you've gone for the double Millwall attack in Kinect
Indeed.
and Samba.
Yeah, have you got the bench there as well? Someone was asking for the bench.
Yeah.
On the
bench.
Sibon on the bench, ready to come on if Samba doesn't start. So I think Samba is another punt. But game week 1, Harris is out. They've got a good fixture. I can bench him going forward. So it's a kind of a game week 1 punt where I think he'll start. I hope he starts and Harris doesn't. And we know how good Samba is in the game. So if he does start, 4.5 million, it could be a great opening day for me. That's my thinking.
I love the balls on that one. I do. I like that one. Yeah, Sibon, I'm not sure about. You think he's gonna? I mean, he didn't do that well last season, did he? You think he's gonna step it up, or is it just? I suppose how much even is Sibon?
Sibon's 7.
Okay.
So I think it's a reasonable price. I've still got 0.5 in the bank. I was thinking one shot.
Right. Yeah.
For me, it's between Sibon and one shot. But I went with Sibon. I think he did okay season 1. Plays off Phillips quite well. He seems to be that other partner alongside Phillips.
Score a bag of goals as well. So
yeah, it could be a season for Sibon. I don't think it's a bad pick. And I will be rotating because of my strong defence. I don't have to play Sibon all the time.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I can just play Rude up there, but that's different to a lot of people do.
People saying here, I've only got 2 players the same as you in my whole squad, Pep says. So that's, I mean, I'd expect Van Nistelrooy is certainly one of them. So that's crazy that there's that much difference. Good to see at least. Rufus as well, 4.5 million. What's that, pens? Is that what you're thinking?
I could have gone Emerson Tome, but I didn't want treble Sunderland. So I've gone Rufus, as in they're Mr. Dependable. If I need to call upon him from the bench, he's there. I don't think I'll play him because of the other 4 defenders, but he's there just in case. So, and I think if I'd had Emerson Tome, I'd be tempted to play him, if that makes sense. So if I had Tome there, I'm thinking, Tome's got a good fixture, I'll play him. Whereas Rufus is just like, he's on the bench. So
Andy, you didn't play this game properly, Series 1. You don't get a choice whether you play them half the time, mate. You could call into your whole bench in game week. By game week 3, you could have played all 15. You just never know.
If I have to pick a player to Mr. Dependable, it's Rufus. I did a lot of Sim season 1, and Rufus was the man that played the most out of any defender. So I did I think it was 760 games, and he played over 700. So I've gone for him dependable. You can rely on him, hopefully.
Mr. Dependable, Richard Rufus, who'd have thought?
Yeah.
All right.
Just going to Scalo as well. I don't know if he's noticed that only one player plays away first game of the season.
I think that's Arca, isn't it?
Yeah. So I was hoping to get a good start. So 10 home players. Players do better at home. Let's go hard from the first minute.
I like that because if you've tried to think too long term in this game, then you miss points right in front of you. That's what I was experiencing in the beginning because obviously I play Sky a lot, which is a static price game, and I was planning weeks in advance for when I'm going to do my transfer. And to be honest, it was a tragedy because by the time I'd get there, they'd be injured or red cards, and I'd miss points in front of me. So obviously you have to plan a little bit in front. You can't be changing players every week, but I think if you shorten your window to 4 to 6 weeks maximum, then it's probably the way to go.
Yeah, I've got 3. I think I've got 3 players or 4 players on the bench that will play most games. I think Kinnett is nailed to come in. I don't expect to play Kinnett a lot, but 5 million, he can get returns off the bench like Rufus can. Sibon or Samba.
Yeah, he's playing on that wing spot, isn't he? So I know Millwall won't score a bag of goals, but if they do score, Kinnett's probably one of their better midfielders. So yeah, don't mind that. So what should we do now? Should we just have a quick look through some of the fixtures before we review some other teams?
Yeah, I can do. I mean, so with the fixtures, so we had obviously the blank game week 2, which we knew was happening with the Champions League. I think the interesting thing is the first legs for those, because have you go to Champions League?
Yeah.
Or was it who lost 3-1? Was it Liverpool lost 3-1?
They won 3-1.
Oh, they won 3-1, so it was Arsenal that lost 2-1, wasn't it?
Where's Arsenal? If anyone can see them, shout me.
Steaua Bucharest.
Let me just go to Arsenal. That's probably easier. I can't see them. They lost 2-1 to Stuena, yeah.
Yeah. So at the moment, the fixtures have Arsenal and Liverpool to have a double in game week 5. Arsenal will not have a double game week 5. That's guaranteed, even if they lose Champions League. So their game is with Bolton.
Yeah. 18th of September.
18th of September. So that double game week is already going to be moving, because Bolton will be playing in the League Cup second round. Blackburn Liverpool, however, is could go ahead if Liverpool lose the second leg, but being 3-1 up seems unlikely.
Okay.
But it could happen. So I'd expect both to move from game week 5. I've chatted to Tala quite a bit about fixtures, where it can go in. It's a possibility game week 9, but very, very unlikely. I think there's other cup commitments and other bits and pieces going on. So it's not going to happen until game week 17, the double.
Really?
So we can kind of forget about it for quite a while.
Okay, that's completely different to season 1 then. Didn't we have singles and doubles and blanks and all that in the first 2 weeks? Or have I just made that up?
I can't remember exactly, but the way Tala was describing it to me, there won't be a double until game week 17, most likely.
Wow, okay.
Because of a couple of cup commitments. I think UEFA Cup, because Blackburn UEFA Cup, League Cup, I'm not sure how it works, but...
Nice. Obviously, CM's got a habit of throwing things out there, though, so we'll keep monitoring that as it goes on, just in case. But Tala is the Don of fixtures, so...
Yeah, just go to his Twitter. He's got a great planner on there, taken over from Ben Crellin this season, and it just shows all the tabs of all the competitions. So UEFA Cup, Champions League, everything's in there, so you can plan quite far ahead.
Nice.
And obviously we keep everyone updated as much as we can, and hopefully this season we don't miss stuff that happens the following week, like the postponement we had, that like we knew about a week in advance.
Yeah. I just want to flag to you guys as well, clicking through the fixtures here. I think we're just going to go through these and what we expect from these games. But as you can see, Man United actually play 3 days later away to Charlton. So they're at home to Everton, and then they play 3 days later midweek. So I suppose you have to factor that in. It is an away game, so I wouldn't expect any rep rotation in this away game. But obviously, if players are tired and stuff, there is obviously a small chance they could miss out. But generally 3 days is enough to get most of your condition back, so I wouldn't worry too much. The rest of the games are on Wednesday that aren't blankers.
Is there anything to say that Rep 12 is less likely game week 1 at all? Do you know?
No, there's nothing particularly.
Nothing to stop it, no.
No, it can happen in any game. I mean, as we go through here, you don't even really need to look at who's at home. Forget that. Just look at who's away and if they're a low reputation side. So Derby, so straight away Chelsea are a potential. Leicester are low, so Ipswich could do it. Obviously, if the difference is bigger, there seems to be more of a chance. So, for example, Man United did it the most last season because they're obviously the highest rep. But it isn't. It doesn't really matter if they're the same rep or even if they're slightly less, even if they're very close. Because Man City are rep 11 in this game, but the numbers behind the scenes are actually pretty close to a 12, if you know what I mean. So. It won't mean that they won't rest anyone throughout the season. They have no choice but to do it. But however, it should be less than most of them. But anyway, as for away sides go, obviously I think Everton are 12 as well. If I remember rightly, Man City, Charlton. I think even Blackburn might be 12. I can't remember now. So there's quite a few teams on the first week. And there is a lot of teams in the league that are rep 12.
So will Man City move to a rep 12 pretty soon then?
Well, their reputation should improve. Yeah, they're just on the cusp. They were just off of 12, so you'd have thought throughout the season, if they're doing well in cups and leagues, and obviously they're in the Premier League now, it will probably bump up to a 12 at some point. Yeah, unless they're getting absolutely battered everywhere.
So we need to change it to rep it. So it's not rep 12, it's rep 11 basically for Man City for the time being.
So technically, Millwall could rep because they're rep 13. I think they've actually got a pretty high rep, and they're playing a rep 11 team. So they may take this opportunity.
Nice. Okay, so So we're saying Braniff and Samba up top for Millwall first game of the season.
Yeah, exactly. We'll just roll out their reserves. But to be fair, a lot of their reserves are actually better than their first team players, like Liverpool.
Oh, so good. Yeah. I mean, Liverpool can start. Braniff, Sadlier. I love it. Yeah, I love Millwall team.
Right, let's go through these games quickly then and see what do you expect from them. So Bolton Villa, any thoughts as to which way this one will go?
I do fancy Bolton at home. I think Pedersen is always likely for a goal. If they're against a team similar to them, they're pretty decent for goals at home. But I wouldn't expect too much scoring. Maybe a 2-1 Bolton. That kind of result.
Yeah, I'd go along with that. I think home advantage is nearly always a thing, isn't it? Bolton will play attacking at home. Villa play normal away from home in this fixture, I think. So the game, none of them are playing on defensive. So yeah, about a 2-1 would sound right to me. I think that's probably what you could expect to Bolton.
The interesting one's the next one, because Derby, they don't go defensive, do they, away?
They do see on your video? The very best teams, I think, if I remember rightly. Yeah, they do.
Or maybe it was at home that they were pretty good to play against when they're at home.
No, away from home they will play defensive and they'll play stupid spiral formation and all that stuff probably. However, as a result, they basically just give up a million shots. So I'd expect Chelsea to have one of those games where they have like 10 to 15 shots.
I hope so, because I've got Carboni on pens as well. So first game.
Yeah.
I think Chelsea will be quite comfortable with a 2-3-0. And would you say Gudjonson's a good pick?
I don't really think he is. I don't know. He's probably the most nailed on Chelsea striker, but he just doesn't seem to do overly well for bonus for his price. I think there are better strikers that are cheaper. I mean, it's CM, right? Anyone can have an absolute wonder season, and I could look an idiot, but I think there's better picks, to be honest. I prefer the midfielders and the defenders from Chelsea, I think.
Yeah. Yes, fair enough. I mean, as do I wouldn't go near a Chelsea attacker because of how nailed they are. Because you can get for sale come in.
I suppose if Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank sorts out his issues, he's not the most consistent of players anyway, but anyone who's played this game knows that Jimmy can hit 20 goals in a season. It can happen. So I suppose that would be pretty good if that happens. But
yeah. And Lampard's so popular, which is just people picking Lampard on his name, basically. Haven't really delved into stuff.
He's got better, but he's playing in centre midfield. He's got no set pieces. Generally, the wingers are better spots.
I think I prefer Petit to Lampard, even.
I prefer Petit to Lampard as well, because he can take penalties when Carboni goes off the pitch as well. I don't think he's a bad pick. I just think there are better ones. Ipswich and Leicester. Horizon 10. Clean sheet.
Yeah, Horizon 9 out of 10. Clean sheet. 12-point haul. That's Horizon first game of the season.
I'm interested in Hasselbank. Sorry, keep talking, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Ipswich, the first game of the season at home is good. You got to be unlucky if Leicester score a couple of goals. I think obviously Leicester can score, but I would say that Ipswich could have a Drayton. I've got Bramble, so hopefully he can get an 8 or a 9. Even if Leicester do score, which I think could happen easily. I think Bramble can still walk away with a 3 or 4 pointer if Leicester score.
I think this game's going to be pretty open. I think Leicester will play either normal or maybe even attack. No, I think they'll play normal, and Ipswich will play attacking, and I think they'll just sling it out. Obviously, like you said, it doesn't really matter for the Ipswich defenders at home. They usually do okay for bonus, so you don't really need to worry there. But I think that could be reasonably high scoring, like a 1-1, 2-2, something like that.
Will Leicester go with Sturridge and Scowcroft again? Akinbaye, possibly.
Yeah, I mean Akinbaye seems to on sim data play a lot more this season, but I think Scowcroft and Sturridge are still favoured, and they play in a direct style. So when Akinbaye does play, he actually does pretty well for him because he's a bit of a beast, isn't he? So we'll have to keep an eye on it, I guess. But yeah, Scowcroft and Sturridge should start. I don't see any reason why they won't.
Yeah.
Liverpool and Leeds, for me, this is one of the most nailed on low scoring games that you'll find, I think.
Yeah, I've seen you on a video mention that. So because Leeds will play quite defensive against Liverpool away, and this will suit Onshow and Hippier quite well.
Yeah, Leeds away from home against tough sides play defensive and man behind ball, I think, if I remember rightly, which basically means they don't even attempt to attack. They've obviously got great players.
So we're different from last season because of Martin O'Neill then, effectively.
Yeah, exactly. They were more attacking away from home quite often. So as a result, I would expect that they'll try and kill the game. And Liverpool, as we know, don't really blow teams away anyway. They generally win sort of 1-0, 2-1, something like that. So as a result, I think it will be quite low scoring. And yeah, Hippier and Henshaw, I think, are great options for game week 1, definitely.
Yeah. Rob Reed saying Hippier is out. How long is Hippier out for? I didn't think Hippier was out, was he?
He's orange flagged. He's 1 day with a twisted knee.
Oh, so, okay, right.
He could start. He equally could start and then go off injured, couldn't he? That's the other thing.
So probably go on show in that situation.
I think on show is better than Hippier he certainly is for bonus when they both play. But Hippier's obviously got potentially penalties, hasn't he? So
yeah, penalties. That's it.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting game week 1 to see that game. I mean, the reason I didn't go for any Liverpool was because of the blank. I was tempted to go for on show instead of Ziga, but because of the blank, Leeds, it's going to be tough anyway. So
yeah,
I avoided it. But yeah, on show, fine pick. Game week 1.
Yeah, I love that. I think I've got one of them in my dead team. I can't remember which one I've got now. Man U Everton. I mean, this is CM, isn't it? Standard 3-4-0 battering, do you think?
Yeah, 4-0. I'm pretty sure. I don't think it matters too much. I think everyone should captain Rude. If you're not captain Rude, that's a big gamble at home to Everton. And then everyone's probably got a Man U defender. So I think whatever the result is, even if Everton score, no one's got Everton assets. So that game's pretty much whatever the score. It depends on what midfielder you got, I guess, and who does the best. That Giggs, Beckham, and Vaughan, I think.
And depends if this man decides to troll us like last season. So there's so many sims where Man United have got 20 in excess of 25 clean sheets, sometimes up to 30 even in a 38 game season. And
depends if Everton have a shot on target. If it's a shot on target, I mean, Everton score because it's Bartes in there. So
yeah, fair play.
Just got to get that shot on target.
Joel Stout saying people's thoughts on Zenden. I like Zenden. I think I prefer Carboni because he's got set pieces and penalties. But Zenden, I expect to have a decent season. He didn't really do anything once he came in and started playing 4-4-2 last season. But towards the back end and in the double, if I remember rightly, he did pretty well. He started to fire up, so I think could be right.
Scala saying no Man U defender here, so I won't mind an Everton goal. Fair enough.
Yeah.
David Strom saying GX in my draft. G to the X.
He's got an Everton player. Yeah, let's click on this guy. So I think he's 5 million, right?
Yeah.
Where's he gone?
Good value.
He's a defender somewhere. Yeah, this guy, he's got a reasonably high rep and he can play all over the pitch. I've seen him play up front. I've seen him play right wing, centre midfield, up arrow. I've seen him play centre back with an up arrow. He can play literally anywhere. So he's actually not too bad for average rating. So yeah, he's a reasonable player because, well, first of all, Everton won't rotate that often, but if they do, he's got the option to play virtually anywhere in the pitch. So he usually makes his way into the first 11 and can see over sort of 38 games a season sometimes. So and
it's got just a great name as well, G to the X, and that's going to be happening.
Yeah. So for that reason, you should get him.
Yeah. Another Hoops is saying Meslier the new Bartes, and can we block him with that comment because I don't really like that.
No, fair enough. Middlesbrough Arsenal. I actually think this one will be quite open because Middlesbrough attack at home regardless and are rep 12, so that means Arsenal will attack because they attack away to weak teams. So they'll both be on attacking, and as a result, anything can happen. So Arsenal could win that 3-0, Middlesbrough could win it 2-0. It could be just goals. There should be in that game. There'll at least be shots all over the place. Whether they actually go in or not is another matter. But yeah, I expect that to be reasonably high scoring.
I think with the Arsenal, because I had Arsenal down as probably the worst opening fixtures with the blank as well, game week 2. So Middlesbrough away is tough. I think Middlesbrough could easily score. So that's what I wouldn't like to go for Arsenal defence on that probably.
No, I don't like Arsenal's defence this season in general.
No, not at all. I mean, Richard Wright, is he an option?
I don't know I'd spend that much money on the keeper. Yeah, when you've had Seaman at 5 last season, it feels like you're getting robbed now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Richard Wright's a good keeper though on this game.
Yeah, he can be. Usually ends up as England keeper, I think, with Paul Robinson and stuff.
Yeah.
Millwall and Man City, the 2 promoted teams. That'll be an interesting one. I'm not sure how to call that, to be honest. I think that can go either way.
I'd say goals in that. I'd say like a 2-2, 3-3. I'm expecting goals.
Yeah,
I think both teams got really good attacks, like attacking players. Their attacking players seem better than defenders for me, for
yeah,
both teams.
I'll go along with that. I think Man City might try and play defensive even against Millwall, or normal at least, but Millwall will be attacking. And yeah, Man City got so many different tactical options on underground that it's hard to work out exactly what will work or what won't. So I think you're going to see some really strange results from Man City, even in away games where they might get battered, and then the next week they'll beat teams. They might actually be like Leeds in real life, actually.
Oh, cheers, yeah. Nice.
Yeah, exactly. Newcastle and Charlton. Alan Shearer banker, is it?
If he stays on the pitch for 90 minutes, I just don't trust Shearer to get him in the squad. I know he's great. I know he can get 30, 35 goals, but anything like last season, you're just going to be absolutely distraught again, spending that much money on someone that doesn't stay on the pitch. And if he gets injured, they're bringing him back too early because he's a star man. He's got to play, and then just continues all season. He's just left like just distraught by him. But he can do it though. That's the thing. We can see it. I mean,
gash toe so strong.
But I think from last season, it could carry on if it's this kind of people do sims, but this sim, he's so injury prone and so like any kind of knock, and he just never recovers from it. So.
I think you start with him because their fixtures are amazing, and if he gets
first two are great, yeah. First two are really good.
Yeah, and if he gets injured, then maybe get rid of him and don't go back there. Maybe, I don't know, but I'll always be tempted. I love Big Al. I think I had him in my team so many times.
And you still won, and you still won. So that's amazing.
Well,
so.
Yeah. In fact, no, I was going to say he helped me out, but you know that double game week where everyone went Alan Shearer and he didn't score a goal and Viduka got 4, so he didn't help me out really because I went Viduka instead. So forget everything I was saying. But the first 2 home games for Newcastle for me have got Rep 12 potential. It's Charlton and then is it Watford or someone? Yeah, Watford.
Yeah.
I don't think they actually rotated Newcastle that often last season. Maybe once or twice, if at all. It's hard to tell because Shearer was out quite often, like you say, so you don't know which games he might have missed if he was fit. But they didn't seem to do it that often, I suppose. So maybe me just being paranoid. I don't think you can plan your team on, there's going to be a rep. You've got to pick these good players for the good fixtures because they're the games they can go wild in and get 3 or 4 goals, right? If they miss out, it's just tough titties.
Completely right. I mean, so for the first game, I think Shearer could easily get a hat-trick first game. There's no denying that. Yeah, I've seen him in plenty of teams.
Love it.
But, yeah, it's difficult. Not for me.
No.
I've only got Kieran Dyer, and I mean, hopefully first game Kieran Dyer can turn up and provide Shearer. That'd be good enough for me.
Yeah. What's my Rabdi saying? Is Court a good pick with Kinnear's tactics? Do you like Kyle Court 7? I
do like Kyle Court. I looked at him as well. I think with Bellamy there, though, that's the thing that put me off slightly. Can come out for Bellamy. Amiobi, is he still there at Newcastle?
There's loads of people here at Newcastle that they don't seem to get that many games. They're all floating around.
How have you seen Kyle Court then? Do you think he'll play majority of the games? Or
I think he'll start the games. Yeah, I think he'll play most of them. He does do pretty well when Shearer's there with him, and when Shearer was out, you'd expect Court to step up, but he generally was pretty shy, wasn't he, when Shearer wasn't alongside him? So, yeah, it's an interesting one to cut some money.
So, because I had this thing about going for the other striker, so I looked at like Robbie Keane, Kyle Court, Gerald Sabon, and for me, Gerald Sabon was the one who I think is going to play the most minutes this season because of Smith, because of Bellamy. I just trusted Sabon getting the minutes there, and I think as another striker, he works quite well with Phillips, so I just favoured him. But I could be wrong. Kyle Court's great.
Yeah, I do think it's an option. I'll always say Shearer's should do better, but Kyle Court I think is an option at that price. There's not many cheap strikers that are nailed really. Once you get up to sort of the Helgesons and the Kyle Courts, that's when you start hitting them, I think, and the Sibons. So yeah, one of those guys. The thing is, any of those guys could fire and hit 20 goals in a season. It's just that they do it less consistently than the top ones. So you just have to get a little bit lucky there, I guess.
What do you think about Noel Whelan just going back to Middlesbrough? Because a lot of people have got Noel Whelan in their team as a 4-point.
I like him. He's actually pretty good in the game and can do all right because I think Middlesbrough are a pretty good team. They've improved. I know they sold their players and were bad towards the end of the back end of last season, but Atherton does well at right back. Southgate's a tank in the middle. Fester's obviously great. And they bought in Zepter, who's a decent player in this.
Yeah, I love Zepter. Zepter looks really good.
Rickard's second season is usually pretty damn good. And Boxic isn't quite dead yet. So I think they're not a bad team. So I think when Whelan plays up there, considering he's 4.5, I mean, for what, 5-6 weeks? Probably. How long's Rickard out for? It's out for a month.
Yeah, so it's going to be 3 or 4 games because of the international break.
Yeah, so I think if you go, for example, you can go Veron and Whelan for Man United's good games, and then when Rickard comes back, you can switch to Shearer or Phillips and take Veron out for a 4.5 midfielder, and we might know more information then as to who is the go-to 4.5 million midfielder. I think that's a reasonable plan. It's just that whole thing of using one of those really good striker spots that can get loads of goals and bonus on Noel Whelan. That's the thing, isn't it, that concerns you. But if he gets 1-2 goals over that run, it's probably value.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've gone completely different. I haven't got 3 forwards at all. I mean, I've got Samba, I've got Sabon. So I think I'm against a lot of people who are going for the 3 forwards. But I've seen plenty with Noel Whelan, and plenty have got Noel Whelan in. So maybe a lot of people going two up front, and maybe Noel Whelan's a bench option.
Iron's saying how much game time will Zepter get. I think Zepter will play the vast majority. He will be over 30 games. That's what I think.
Yeah, I like Marinelli. Hopefully Marinelli gets a look in.
He'll get the odd game in centre midfield, yeah. Not bad. Could Job or Windass play? I mean, any of them can play, but their reputation is less, so they shouldn't jump ahead unless it's a rep game. So if you're having Noel Whelan repped out, then you're in a bad way. You should hopefully be all right. Tottenham and Blackburn. I think this is virtually any game involving Spurs is just like, what the fuck? Anything can happen, right? Goals all over the place. That's what I'm expecting.
But it's a contrast to Blackburn being defensive.
Yeah, I don't think they will be. They'll play. I think, if I remember rightly, they'll play normal and they'll probably play 4-2. Let's see if they played it in any of their. No, these were fake friendlies. Let's go back. So let's find an away. Not that one. I don't think they'll play like that. They could do. That's how I think they will play. And they'll play normal.
Okay.
So as a result, Spurs are just gung-ho. And these guys are playing, that's a pretty offensive formation. So when they got the ball, they've got 4 right up top.
Yeah, I mean, De Boer did change things, didn't he? I mean, you saw the start of season 1.
Yeah.
They were so defensive, but De Boer came in and things changed quite a bit with Blackburn.
Yeah.
They seem to be more expansive with their tactics.
Exactly. So I feel like that game could be any score again. I think that one's good for goals, and it could go either way because Blackburn are a decent side, but yeah, either one of them could just get battered.
Yeah, I think people are underestimating Blackburn. I think they're a top 7 team, top 6. I think they've got a very good team, very young players that come through quite well. David Dunn, Damien Duff.
Brought in some experience.
Brought in some experience. Still wanted though, isn't he, Tony Adams?
Yeah.
He's signed, but maybe that'll disappear.
I think they were on a dream, weren't they? Alongside David Webberell.
Oh, a legend! What a legend!
Yeah, he's a good player
Leeds
this
legend.
season, actually. I think no one's going. I don't know what Blackburn's fixtures are like. I've not seen him in any drafts, but I would expect David Webberell come the end of the season to be fairly high up there for average rating and probably clean sheets as well. It's just he's 5.5 million.
I mean, I've got Blackburn as probably the second worst for fixtures, including the blank. So let's get Blackburn's fixtures. So Blackburn got Tottenham away, blank, Millwall away, Chelsea away, first 3. And then they play Man U, and Middlesbrough away. Yes, horrible opening.
Yeah, see, this is why guys want to talk about Simon Davies briefly. He didn't start the season, as we know, if the guys who played anyway, and was subbed on a lot. But then considering he's had all these subs on, which take away from your average rating, because you're most likely to get a 6, right, if you play like 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. His average rating was 7.48, so that's why I like Simon Davies, because he does well for average rating in midfield, which is a rare thing. And then if you take the 20 games, 6 goals, 5 assists, 3 man of the matches, that's not bad. So a year of improvement, stats are great. I like Simon Davies at 7 million in a team that just go for goals pretty much regardless on set pieces. So I think he's quite underlooked. I do like Poyet as well. Someone's pointing out Poyet. Yeah, stats.
Yeah, someone's saying that.
I think he'll continue where he left off. Really. That was a fantastic season. If he matches that, he's done well, but might not be too far away from it.
Spurs attacking, yeah. So I've got Ziga, but Spurs attacking. I think the strikers are quite expensive. There's other options there. I do like Davis. Davis is an option, but maybe for later.
I really like Everson if he gets games. He does score a lot of goals. He's got this jumping and heading stat. He's like a proper centre forward. He's got pace, everything. He's got stats all over that are pretty good.
Yeah. Are we expecting Sheringham not to play as much now then?
Well, Sheringham's injured to begin with. 2 weeks with a calf strain. Stats are pretty much diabolical now. I don't think he'll play that often.
Yeah, he's finished. He's finished now.
Yeah, I mean he's still got a decent reputation, so they might throw him in every now and then. But I think Rebrov, Everson, this young kid is actually all right in the game as well. He was signed, so might get a bump, might get some minutes.
Where is he signed from?
It's in Scotland somewhere, Motherwell.
Yeah, she's all right, thanks. Yeah, she's doing well.
You dickhead.
I knew that.
For a minute. It took me a minute, but I got there.
There we go. Yeah.
He's back, ladies and gents. In fact, you should speak to Colm, who's in the chat forever doing puns.
Oh, I've seen his puns. It's brilliant. I love it. Yeah, all the time.
So Les is unhappy. This saddens me, says Steve Bird. Yeah, I think he's unhappy most of last season. Wants first team football. Yeah,
Championship or Division 1 awaits for him, doesn't
Who
he?
knew that Les Ferdinand could speak fluent Turkish? Is that a thing? Did he go to Turkey? He went to Besiktas on loan.
Oh, there we go. He speaks Turkish.
See, they know the crack. I'd question that in real life, to be honest with you, but you never know.
Let's try it. Ask him.
Right, Watford and Sunderland. I think I'm not sure which way this one will go either. Watford will be attacking. Sunderland, I think, are on normal. So therefore the game could be fairly open. And obviously if Phillips is involved, who I don't see in any drafts. Has Sunderland got bad games? I'm assuming they've got pretty bad games.
I think it's quite mixed. So I've got Sunderland down, Watford away, Man City away, Leeds at home, Liverpool away, Chelsea at home. So not great.
Yeah, I can understand then. Still like Phillips this season though, again.
Maybe for later, yeah. I think he's great. He's going to play every game, every minute. And he's a rarity. He's a striker on pence as well.
Yeah.
So it's probably worth having him for that.
He's expensive, but it's because he did so well last season. Again, he'll do well to match it, I guess. A bit of a worldy season, but he can do.
Yeah. So the Watford player that's in everyone's team, well, a lot of teams, is Petkov. Now, I mean, that's a really, really good signing, and I think he's a great player. But for Watford, who I don't really rate, I'm so shocked how they got him. Really.
Yeah.
Normally he goes to a better team. Like, he's a really good player on this.
Yeah.
But I think for Watford, I think he'll struggle because of the team he's in. I don't know how you feel about that.
I think he's a good pick, yeah, and because he's got the penalties, the set pieces, he can have wonder seasons like any of the people who have those set pieces, etc. can. It's just like you say, it is Watford, so there are going to be games where they get battered 4-0 and he's just going to get a 6 and get nothing. But I don't see how that's too much different from most of the midfielders. So I still...
He's just more expensive, so like, I don't know. Yeah. I'd favour someone same price and a better team, personally.
I think Petkov's still... I think I've got him... I'm going to have him in my dead team, I'm pretty sure. I'm just going to leave him in there. A lot
of people have, and I don't trust Watford. But I think they're probably the worst team.
Yeah, Helgeson's been underlooked as well. He can actually do pretty well for goals, I think. If anyone's scoring for Watford, it's basically going to be Tommy Smith, Helgeson, or Petkov. I don't think you'll see goals from many other players in the team. So yeah, kind of talisman in a way. People saying Petkov's class, mind games from Andy. Petkov doing just fine. Oh mate,
have Petkov. Go ahead. I won't be getting him in because Watford. Go ahead, please continue. We'll see. Come back to me game week 4 and see how Petkov's got on. Cool.
That'll be an interesting one. He's laying down the gauntlet.
No, but I mean, Petkov is a class player, and he is. I don't know how Watford got him. I just don't like him in the Watford team personally.
Who's gonna play when Tommy Smith is out? There's a number of options. I think Marcus Gale is probably the most likely, but you've also got Gift and Noel Williams who can play. One of those guys. I don't think they're an option anyway because he's only out for a week. Tommy Smith, you don't want to start one of them dudes. I wouldn't have thought.
While we're on Marcus Gale, because I said to Steve Bird to do this, to look at the crazy gang, how they're getting on. Like, he wants to know where they have gone. Like, so people like John Fashney we covered last season.
John Fashney.
Can you just... Is he still a fitness coach at FC Hacker?
Was he a fitness coach, was he? Or was he physio?
There's something, wasn't he?
Is that right? No.
Fash.
John Fash.
I think it's 2 U's, maybe.
2 U's?
John Fash. Yeah, John Fash. Maybe.
Let's put Fash. Oh, it's because I'm on non-player, twat. Here he is. Fashanu. FC Hacker, physio.
Physio, yeah.
Level of discipline 20. Do not cross this guy.
And people like Vinnie Jones, are they still knocking around? Is he?
I think
because I think he was doing fast. Was he doing Gone in 60 Seconds at this?
He's a scout for Everton. No, he's
not.
Oh yeah. Is he Welsh? Is Vinnie Jones Welsh?
Yeah, he is Welsh.
He is. Yeah, he's Welsh. Yeah, just doesn't sound Welsh at all.
Okay, he's doing scouting work. And what about Alan Kimball?
Legs akimbo.
Yeah, legs akimbo. I just said I'd have a look at the crazy gang, how they're getting on. Maybe it doesn't exist.
How old would he be at this point? No, I don't think
40-ish. No, he's not around. Okay.
Damn.
Okay, that's fine.
Nordin Wooter sounds like what you would call David Strawn when he's shouting. That one's gone above my head. Hans Sagers. Oh, fucking hell. So many names from the crazy gang. I can barely remember football from back then now.
The mid-90s. Because there was a betting scam, wasn't there, with Hans Sagers?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do remember that. People saying Dennis Wise. Yeah, not seen him in any drafts.
Don't see why not. Just lobbing it in off the corners.
Yeah.
Good option.
He was
good
arguably
option.
The best midfielder last season for value, wasn't he? Look at that. That's not bad, is it?
Oh, 13 assists. And that's just corner, just chip it in the box.
Yeah, I think 11
Jerry Ferry will get his head to it.
I'm pretty sure 11 more corners. Madness.
Great, love that. I mean, yeah, Dennis Wise, I think he's a better pick than Petkov. We'll see.
Could be. Ikoku. No, can't see him. Yeah.
Bobby Gould.
Salzburg.
I think he was. Oh, he's still playing. Okay, that's good.
Not a bad season there. Is Bobby Gould still in the game? Let's have a look.
He was. I think he gets sacked, doesn't he, from Wales? Or was that a different version?
Would that be Rob Gould or not?
No, it's Bob. That's player you're on still. Bobby Gould is the manager. He's like 70. There we go. No club. Oh, he's 56. He's really young.
He's got no club. Prefers an attractive attacking style of player. We could do with you in the Premier League, Bobby.
Could happen. He's got good reputation.
Right. Let's go through some other drafts then, I guess, quickly.
Yeah.
Let's go through some of the team behind the scenes.
So can we roast them, or can we get to be nice?
Want. They're not here. Call them cunts, whatever you want. I'm not bothered.
This stream's now an 18.
Right, this is... Oh, I've just managed to move it. Panda, who is doing a lot of work behind the scenes. And this is his draft. Oh, James is in the chat from Planet FPL. Dropping in, he'll catch up later. Nice one.
James. Good to see you. Good luck this season, mate.
Tear into that, chat. What's Panda done wrong here?
I'm just waiting because my feed is 30 seconds behind.
Oh, you're not going to be able to see, are you? I've just realised.
I will see in a bit. I've got YouTube up, so I'll be able to see.
Oh, okay. I'm with you. Yeah. He's got Jerry Ferry in there. I want to read
memories.
Neville,
great memories. Oh.
Neville 6 million for Man United. He's gone for the Poom and Jaskelein and goalkeeper. He's got Bramble. He's got Holland, Gerrard, Giggs, and Tiato. People calling him a casual because he's got Gerrard. Keane, Van Nistelrooy, and One Chops. He's gone for double Man City attack.
Yeah, I mean Tato and One Chop are good players. Double, I'd like one of them, but not both.
Yeah, I think they're both good picks in their individual right, but double up, maybe not. I do like all of his picks though. I can't really fault anyone. The only one I'm in the Gerrard's a bit of a casual pick camp as well. I wouldn't have Gerrard personally, but I still think he'll probably end up being value at that price. And then I'm not sure how much Carbonari will play, so that might be a concern. He can take some free kicks though, and he's got Southgate on the bench. I'd be tempted to play him. He's just a beast at home for average rating.
Yeah, so I mean, Arsenal will go to score, I think, game week 1, so I think it's fair enough. But he could be missing out on 4 points then.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be tempted to play him over Robbie Keane. I just don't see Leeds scoring.
Ooh, it's a big shout to be Keane out. I kind of agree, but who's he got in defence at the moment? Like Jerry Taggart over Southgate?
Yeah, maybe Taggart then. I'd probably swap him out, but Jerry's got that habit of scoring a goal or getting bonus when you don't play him, doesn't he? So I can see why he maybe picked it. People are giving him a 6 out of 10.
I'd go lower. I'd say 5 out of 10.
Oh
personally,
my God.
I don't like the. Is it Marcelino on the bench or Madison? Madison's okay.
Madison, yeah.
I don't like this Marcelino pick. They've got 2 good home fixtures, but I don't think he's nailed. Is he?
No,
Marcelino?
He's not got Marcelino, but yeah, a few people have seen him in there. I don't think he's nailed. I don't think any of the Newcastle defenders are nailed, but he seems to play the most games, so I can understand why people were going there. And they've got good defensive games, haven't they? Scala saying, could Heath take Taggart's spot as centre-back? I guess so. Taggart doesn't always start the season, does he? Some sims he doesn't play any minutes at all. The game doesn't favour him. 5 out of 10 harsh, Whitebeard saying. Say it to his face, Andy. Come on, man.
People coming after you on Twitter, Andy. Not cool. That sounds quite like a daily thing for me.
Whitebeard is in the chat, and I'm now going to embarrass him by bringing up his team because it's different. And this quality is shocking for some reason, but I hope you can see that. I don't know why it's done that. It's blurry. But
let's have a look.
He's got triple Ipswich defence.
That's brave, isn't it?
Serini, Hariderson and Clapham.
Can you imagine if that comes a clean sheet? First game.
Well, to be fair, going off of last season, if you'd have picked 3 Ipswich defenders all season, the 4.5s, you'd have been laughing, wouldn't you? Because they're all in sort of the top 10, 15 scorers coming in.
Yeah, completely, yeah.
He's gone absolutely massive on the tractor, boys, this captain. He has, hasn't he?
But even as like a worst case scenario, he's still going to get 10 points, I think, from the triple Ipswich first game.
Yeah, and he's back.
So I don't think it's that bad.
Desai, I think he's a great pick. Overlooks. I think he's good. I've already mentioned about Chelsea. I do really like him. Clapham, who probably will be on penalties, and he's playing in that wing-back slot for 0.5 less than Tarico. There's nothing to say that Clapham can't have a better season. He's actually, I'm going to go to the game quickly and show you, he's actually improved a reasonable amount.
Tiato again, getting a... I mean, Tiato is, what is he, 8? 8.5?
7.5, I think.
7.5, is he?
I think he is, yeah. Who was I going to look at? Clapham, that's it. So Clapham, he can get bought by teams like Liverpool, stuff like that, quite often when you play the game. The game kind of likes him a lot, and he didn't. I mean, last season, 4 assists, 2 goals, 24 games. It wasn't great. Average rating's obviously less than the others, but I think he'll have a better season this time. And as ever, as he's on penalties, you could see a sim where he hits 8 penalties in a season. So
yeah, it'd be perfect.
An interesting differential. He's always different.
It's definitely different. Serini, Clapham, Hariderson. It's fair play. I mean, if you want to benefit and go for it, triple of defence of any team is worth going for.
Yeah, he's got Festa for pens, Clapham for pens. Love that. Veron's probably on pens. Tiato might be on pens. Van Nistelrooy can occasionally take them for Veron. So he's got quite a few penalty takers. He's going for the VAR team, I can say. I do love Boxic up top as well. I've not seen anyone going for him. And he's also got Whelan on the bench, so double forwards for Middlesbrough.
I think Boxic is too injury prone for me as well. I want my players to stay on the pitch. I saw too many Boxic 58-minute subs last season as well, and that comes from his fitness. So where he goes into a game like 92%, and then 58 minutes comes and he's down to 69% and he's hauled off. So
in fact, I don't mind that team. It's definitely different. I really like Teal. I think he's going to have a good season, and the only one I question really is Eric Bakker, because now Leeds are playing with 2 centre midfielders, aren't they? I don't ever see him filling in for that AMC slot, so now he's competing with a lot of players at centre midfield. Harry Kewell can play centre midfield,
Yeah.
Bowyer, McPhail, Decor, and then obviously Backer himself. So I personally wouldn't touch Backer, but if he gets the position, then we all know that he can actually perform pretty well because he was pretty good last season, wasn't he?
He was decent. I think Leeds will probably sign another midfielder as well. They often do. So Riquelme, they could sign someone like that, perhaps.
Yeah, love that. Where's he gone, Backer? He was sensational in Spats. Yeah, he's got all the 10s from last season are still floating around. But Bowyer was out most of the season, so...
Bowyer's going to be nailed, isn't he? Centre mid?
Yeah, I mean...
Or right wing?
No, I think he'll play centre mid. I think he'll play, 30 games plus. I would have thought. I mean, just look at him.
Is there any chance Keane goes back into midfield and Smith and Viduka play up front?
Yeah, so I think it's not going to show me them playing the game. Fixture, is it? Oh no. You know what formation they play anyway, the 3-5-2, and he plays as an AMC. I think Keane will play either directly up front with Viduka or play in the AMC slot, and then Kewell will drop back into centre midfield. But it will sort of change around all season. Alan Smith can obviously occasionally come in as well, but again, I'd expect Robbie Keane to hit over 30 games. Most likely plays backer up. Yeah, I love that, Billy.
Yeah, I mean Leeds if they get injuries up front, so if Viduka or Keane, I should stop saying Viduka because I don't know how to say it. I should say just Viduka.
Just run with it. We accept it.
Just go back to it. Yeah. I think that if one of them gets injured, whoever comes in, whether that be Smith or Bridges, will be a good pick. If someone gets injured,
yeah. And we all know that someone will get injured at some point.
Yeah.
What are we giving this then? This team, this differential.
Oh, I think it's better than Talers. Was it Taller first one? It was Panda, wasn't it? First
it was Pandas.
That's a 7 out of 10 for me. That one.
Oh, okay. Chat, you agree with that? 5 defenders, love it.
Yeah, I mean, I've got 5 defenders if you include Rufus. So my defence is quite strong, as a bit like Whitebeard's there.
We've also got Captain because he is in the chat as well. So let's embarrass him. The man on the graphics.
Man on the graphics, what a great job you've done, mate. It looks great this season. There's no mirrors and stuff.
No, he sorted us out. Scala's saying 7.5 for the last team. Okay, people kind of like that. Love that. We've got a 4-4-2 here from Captain. I'll just read it out to you in case your chat hasn't caught up. So he's got Jaskalainen and Poom in goal, like most people. He's got Tarico, Roque Jr., Festa, Marcelino at the back. He's got Lampard, Holland, Poyet and Petkov in midfield. And he's got Van Nistelrooy and Shearer up top with McPhail, Tome and Whelan on the bench. Strong bench.
Strong bench. Weak midfield.
Weak midfield?
No, it's fine. It's a good team. It's Lampard? Is it Lampard?
You've got Lampard, yeah. Someone else calling him a casual now as well.
Lampard casual. I mean, anyone who's got Lampard in the team, I just don't see it as a good pick at all.
McPhail, casual. Someone else is dropping in there. He's in the chat, guys. Yeah, there he is. You forget. You come.
Someone's gone to last season's points tally and gone, yeah, McPhail, he's good. No, it's a fine team. I've said my thing about Petkov in a bad team.
Well, Captain, if you're listening, I like your team, mate. I think it's very good.
Because it's Shearer, though. You only like
I love Shearer. I like Petkov. I like Poyet. I love the defence, really. I think I'd try and pay the 0.5 extra for Silvestre if I could over Rocky Jr., but still think he'll do pretty well. I love Tarico. I love Festa. Bench is solid. Tome's awesome. I'd look at McPhail and Lampard and see what he could do differently there, or McPhail, Lampard, Holland, that little trident. I feel like there could be something else that could work there. But Holland can do very well, to be fair.
Very steady midfield, I think. It's not going to be explosive, is it? It's going to be
Petkov
drift along.
He's going to hit hat.
No, he won't. He won't. He'll tick along with one return in 4, and everyone will think, "Oh, that's all right." But that's what I think about the midfield. I mean, but then he's got Shearer up top, which I haven't. So he's got 2 explosive strikers. You can get a hat trick any game.
Yeah. And Colm said, "Stick to graphics, mate." God, the chat's harsh, man.
It's so harsh, isn't it, everyone? Yeah.
Who else have we got then? Let's give one more person behind the scenes then. Mr. Rob, Pick.
Any Barnsley players in there?
So this is the Scouts team who will be on Matchday comms quite often. So lay into him, people. What do we think? Puma Jaskalainen. He's got Terry Hart.
Just going back to that as well. I mean, the leak as well. Watch, if you don't follow already, follow CM Scout, because the leak, is it going to be tomorrow or Tuesday or?
I'm not sure when we're going to do it, to be honest with you, but it will obviously tweet it out from the main account as well and from Rob's account. Rob will go first. And yeah, we're actually, while we're on that note, I think for game week 1, we're still having chats about it behind the scenes, but we're thinking of leaking maybe more than one team news, maybe 2 or 3, just because there's a lot of unknowns really to help you guide you guys. We don't want you having to use wildcards after game week 2 and 3 and stuff. So just a little bit, because there's new players as well. But don't worry, we won't be spoon feeding from that point. It will go back to 1 from then on, pretty much every single week. So might be a few more weeks that we might stagger over the next couple of days, so definitely look out for that. Yeah, I think he's done his homework though. I like this team.
Yeah, it does look quite strong.
I think it's pretty good. Van Nistelrooy, Shearer, Whelan up front. I think that's basically template. I think that's virtually what most people are going for. Then in midfield, he's got Davies, Tiato, Petkov and Carboni. Now all of these guys are on set pieces. So in any given week, he can do very well there. I think Whaley might be the best 4.5 midfielder, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And then in defence, he's got Terry, who I love, Tome, who I love. Delaney's an underlooked 4.5 defender, I think. Melberg, I love. And Ian Hart, 7 million.
Delaney because of midfield, right? Can he go into
midfield? He played
midfield?
left back most of the time, but I don't think he had that good a season this season, but I think he's a cheap way into the Leicester defence because Taggart's obviously 5 million, etc. And they can do all right occasionally for clean sheets, can't they? So, yeah, I think he's pretty good. I think he's one of the better 4.5 defenders. I can't fault the team, to be honest with you.
Petkov's there. I don't really like that. No, but it is a good team. Hart seems quite expensive at 7 million. I think if it was 6.5, it'd been a lot more teams. So 7 is a good price to put Hart in.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to be as high owned this season. I don't really like Hart for game week 1. That's a problem.
Yeah, I suppose he just doesn't want to fanny about with it, does he? But I'm with you. I think, although Hart can easily be absolutely amazing, I think I prefer some of the 6.5s like Sylvester and Hippier and stuff.
Yeah, Billy Halloway's made a great point. Only one Man U as well. You got to go triple Man U with these fixtures.
Man United go on an absolute tear. He's going to struggle, isn't he? But I really like the team though. Scalar saying, who would I start from game week 1? Obviously Terry. Terry and Hart. I think if you've got Hart, you pretty much have to play him. Even though I don't think he'll do. I mean, he could get a penalty, couldn't he? So Terry.
Yeah, I think Hart for game week 1 needs to change to a Man U defender personally.
Yeah, I can see that. Delaney, Melberg, they're all away. Delaney, Melberg, they're all away, aren't they? So any one of those. Not really sure who would play from there. And yeah, obviously the rest is self-explanatory, isn't it? I'd still play Whelan. I think I'd play 3-4-3. Sorry. Whelan
yeah. One Man U has put me off that team a bit, because especially with the fixtures, you just got to go triple United. Even though they're good picks, but
I'd agree with that actually. It does look more of a set and forget team. That's probably why it's appealing to me, because I haven't really looked at the fixtures that much, and he's not playing the fixtures he's saying here, so fair play.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Making less transfers. See, for me, I've gone for game week 1 trying to storm it, because I'm good from the front, leading from the front. I'm horrible at chasing, but then I'm good at getting to the template, keeping with the pack if I'm doing all right. So I find that better for me. So I can get on board and get high up game week 1. And I can just from there.
I'd say it's like playing the fixtures in front of you. Fair enough. That's what I think probably we should look to do. This is Craig Kemp's team, so CK32 I think he is in my Discord, but you guys know him from doing pods, hopefully, if you've listened to. If you haven't listened to his pods, then you want to follow him. I think it's just at Craig Kemp.
Yeah, great listens. It's nice, 15-20 minute pods as well. So
yeah, and he knows what he's talking about. He did really well last season, especially towards the back end, all about the bonus points, and he's obviously going to have picked his team around that as well. And straight away I can see that all 4 of those defenders are going to be in the frame for bonus most weeks, so love that. Lots of home players here. I think, is everyone at home? Every single player is at home, isn't it? Look at that.
Nice.
He's gone differential on the keeper.
Big fan of that team. Really big fan of that team. He knows what he's talking about.
Even though it's got Petkov and Shearer. Come on, man. You just don't have a wrong pick.
Home fixtures. Home fixtures.
I mean, it's looking incredibly strong, I'll be honest with you. Veron and Van Nistelrooy, that could be mad. The only thing, he's playing Whaley, so he's starting a 4.5 million midfielder. I don't hate that at all, but he's obviously got players that he can bring in for different games, so he's always going to be playing either a 4.5 or stretch to a Melberg for a 5 there, isn't he? No Emerson Tome, I'm surprised about that. People giving him 9s out of 10 in the chat.
Wouldn't go that high. I don't think anyone should get a 9.
Don't think anyone should get a 9. No one should get a 9. Okay, so if you get an 8, you're basically perfect as far as Andy's concerned.
It's pretty good. It's okay.
The keeper's an interesting one because Watford are clearly going to ship a lot of goals, but he's obviously backing him to make a lot of saves, similar to, I suppose, Dean Kiley. But then Dean Kiley did keep quite a few clean sheets last season.
Is the Watford keeper nailed as well?
Yeah, he's actually pretty good as well. He's a decent keeper. Let me find him. He's not bad.
He got bought, didn't he? Was he bought from somewhere?
Yeah, he came from AEK with Petkov.
Okay, so he's definitely going to play, you reckon?
Yeah, he'll play. Okay. Chamberlain's requested a transfer. He's ancient.
Bardson's decent enough, though?
No, he didn't even play at all last season.
He didn't play at all? Okay, fine.
No. Yeah, he's nailed. Forgot to rate Andy's team, says Andam English. I'll give it 4.25 out of 10.
I don't care what Adam says, really. It's fine. See you Thursday night.
Oh, man. Swords are out tonight. Right, who are we going to go for? So, do a couple more. Well, how long have we been going? How long's this stream been going? Anyone bored yet?
It's got about 80 minutes, I think it's done.
Okay. I could talk all night, so stop me if I'm... Oh, that wasn't good.
We'll just stream tomorrow night as well.
So this is Gleedliker, who sent me his team's team. And he's got 1 million in the bank. That's why I've put that 1 million in the top corner there. So he's got a little bit to spend. He did tell me that he's looking to get Slakovic in with that 1 million in the bank at some point. So he's gone for that template front line. He's got Petkov, Davies, Veron, set pieces, Pen, Siatos. Again, people are liking this.
See, everyone's gone Petkov. Like, it worries me slightly.
It should do, mate. It should do.
No. Watford are going to finish 20th and like get 25, 30 points this season. I don't see how Petkov is worth the money.
Mate, you could be proved right. It could be a masterstroke. I'd be lying if I haven't seen Sims where he's played 38 games, scored 4 goals, got 3 assists, and got an average rating of about 6. So it can happen.
Yeah. Obviously, people have done more sim work than I have, but
yeah.
Oh, the sexy Atherton pick, Peter Atherton.
Sexy Atherton, he's got him in there. I mean, he's cheapened out on the defence, hasn't he, for that monster midfield, and obviously a good front line. And then Galley, he's probably, of all the 4 millions, I think I mentioned this before, I think he's got the most chance probably. He'll either play or just won't at all. And he's gone cheap at the back, which I'm not sure if that is the play, but I do like the ones he's picked.
Mm-hmm.
Say Atherton. Just me and him are in that camp then. He must have been the only person who's listened to me on that one. Captain says, do you want a Petkov ownership stat? I think they tweeted them out, but was he not in the top... Oh, no, he wasn't in the top 5, was he? I don't think.
Be interesting to see that.
Yeah, go on, drop it in the chat, Captain. But yeah, what do I think of this team? I think this is a good team as well. I'm going to give it 7.5 because I think I would probably look to spend a little less in midfield and a little bit more in defence.
I think the lack of United, again, in defence, I think people are overlooking it too much. I think United can get 23, 24 clean sheets. I thought they were unlucky last season with conceding the odd goal. I prefer like a double...
Owned, 14% he's put him in.
14%.
It's not that high.
That seems like people that know the game. 14%.
Seems like the Twitter community of FPL, does it?
Yeah, that's the stream community are going for Petkov. Be interesting. I mean, I'm flexible if Petkov does good things with average rating, but okay.
10th most owned midfielder. Interesting. Okay, how many more have we got on here? We've got David Strom. I'm going to pick him as he's in the chat, and I love his name.
Doing well in Norwegian fantasy, but still behind me, David Strom.
Just drop that casually in, takes a sip of water, moves on. Love it.
he was beating me for a long time, so it's nice to go above him, and hopefully I can keep
Nice.
doing well.
I wouldn't know where to start with that, to be honest. Norwegian football players.
It's really good. I mean, it's like FPL. The guys that make FPL make this game, so it makes it easy to like be good at it.
Transition.
Yeah, transition. That's the word. Yeah.
Okay, so David Strom's team is in the chat. He is going for the double Millwall attack, similar to you, Andy. So I feel like you're going to like this one. He's got Shearer as well. Davies, Veron, your mate Petkov. Seeing so many Petkovs. He's only 40.
So many Petkovs.
Tome, Whaley, Howie, can't argue with that bench. Poom, Jaskalainen, Bramble, Sylvester, Fester. It does feel very template. I haven't seen Fester in that many teams, so I guess that's Fester and Kinnett are probably more his differentials there, and Samba, I suppose. But
did you do a Petkov video on like Discord or anything?
No, I have been picking them up though most of the time when I've been on stream. So I think obviously the people that are involved in the streams that I'm involved will probably have a lot of Petkov because they're probably going. I apologise already, guys, if Petkov is shit this season. Sorry.
You're the champion, so I'd listen to you.
How do you know I'm not feeding you dud information so my dead team can win and I haven't got Petkov? Huh? You didn't think about that, did you?
Because you're a nice guy, Luke, and you wouldn't do that. You want to help everyone.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, I love the team. Any comments?
Really like it. It's nice to see Veron, Van Nistelrooy and Sylvester, so the best Man U asset from each position. I really like that. That's probably my favourite team. To have Samba in there as well, the Game Week 1 gambler like myself, it kind of amazed me how he got Shearer, Veron, Van Nistelrooy, Sylvester in that team. Yeah. I guess he's gone cheap bench. What was the bench again?
Well, no, I mean, they're all players. I think they're all play. They're all 4.5, so he's got no fours there. I don't actually know how he's afforded. I get it's Kinnett and Samba, isn't it? He's 5 and he's 4.5. So
yeah, I mean that's why I've got Kinnett and Samba in my team, because I can go a stronger defence and get Sylvester and Bramble and others in. So
yeah, I think I'm assuming his plan is when Harris is back, I doubt Samba will play, so therefore he will play one of Tome, Howie or Whaley, and then he'll play Kinnett every game, which I don't have a problem with at that price.
No, Kinnett's good. Yeah. I mean the lack of Arca in these teams compared to Petkov. Have you not been bigging up Arca at all?
I really like Arca. I think he's good as well at midfield. I still, Sunderland didn't keep any clean sheets last season, so I don't think it really affects him too much. Yeah, I mean, Arca could easily beat Petkov. He gets good average rating. It's just the set pieces and pens. They keep listening to me on that, and how people can have wonder seasons as a result. So I guess we're just holding out for one of them. Sunderland have got poor early fixtures, says Craig Kemp, so that's the other thing. We did look at that, didn't we, with Phillips, so I suppose that's why.
Fair enough, yeah.
Arca straight in when the fixtures turn, people are saying, okay, captain as well. Fair enough.
Understandable, yeah. I really like Arca, as everyone knows, so.
Who haven't I done here? I haven't done Mac and I haven't done Motley Barnett. I think that's it. So let's do Mac first. I don't know why this is a greyed out file. That's concerning. Now you're going to watch me try and struggle with the PC like a granddad. That just popped up for a second and then disappeared. Oh yes, we got it to work.
I'm going to check Sunderland's fixtures actually, because I've got Arca just because I really enjoy what he does.
Watford, away to Man City, home to Leeds, tough. Home to Millwall, away to Liverpool, home to Chelsea. So that's a pretty turgid run, to be fair.
Two newly promoted teams, Game Week 1 and 2.
I suppose, but they're away, and Sunderland. Yeah, they score some goals, to be fair, but just away fixtures are a bit risky, aren't they? I see what you're saying there. It's a decent enough first two.
And Millwall at home. So we've got 3 of the promoted teams in the first 4. Lovely.
Fair play. I can't argue with that. I cannot argue.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of set for an early wildcard anyway, so I'm happy to take a punt on Sunderland.
Someone told me to click a player, and I said I would, and I've forgotten who that was already. I think it was Adam English, and maybe is it? Tell me if it wasn't. So I may as well do that while I'm in the game again. There he is.
Automatically saying who are the whipping boys this season. I would say Watford, Millwall, Man City. Not less so Man City. Charlton. I've made some good signings. I wouldn't expect them to do that well though. Derby, I don't really like. Everton, I hate Everton.
There's quite a lot of whipping boys. I think Millwall are definitely whipping boys.
You think they're the worst team?
Well, I think they're the worst team, and they've got the highest rep of all the teams that got promoted. So that's not a good combination to have.
Okay.
Because then teams might not rotate their star players as much against them. So,
I've got Watford as the worst team personally. But
yeah, I mean they're all pretty shite to be honest. Apparently, Man City can do okay. To be fair, they can finish top half occasionally. I think definitely Millwall and Watford will struggle. Yeah, Charlton, Derby, Everton. You've named the other guys. I think will be right down there.
Not Southampton, Gary Smith because they're in Division 1.
Scala's saying City will be saved by their rep. They're so low.
Fair enough.
Top 4 predictions from Adam English.
United to win. I would say Leeds second, Arsenal third, Liverpool fourth. Pretty standard, boring answers, really.
All right, I'm going Man U, Chelsea second.
Oh, Chelsea. That's
Liverpool third. Leeds fourth. I don't think Arsenal are going to do that well for some reason. I think they've only bought in Basidas, haven't they?
I believe so.
I think it was only Basidas that they bought in, and have lost some players.
Leeds to be champions, that'd be nice to see. Let's see that.
To be fair, I've seen that quite often. They do well second season.
Spurs top 4, no way, Adam.
Where did Middlesbrough finish in the end?
Finished 7th, 6th or 7th, wasn't it? They missed out on UEFA Cup, didn't they, to Blackburn? Oh, Chelsea. It was Chelsea, wasn't it?
Oh no, that's where their highest position was. Okay. No, I think they finished 6th.
Oh, they did finish 6th.
I think so.
Okay.
Did you buy Mike Duff? No, it's not me even playing. It was if anyone did, it would have been Dave. But I noticed he was in his team, so I'd imagine he bought him. But I don't know.
You can't influence the game coming like that. Oh dear.
Well, he's obviously stopped a Premier League team getting him. Yeah, no, it weren't me. I promise you.
I signed. Just going back to Brighton. I've played a Dundalk game after their Europa League exploits, and I signed Danny Cullip from Brighton. He's done right.
Any good?
It's okay for Dundalk. Yeah, it's done all right.
Yeah, I'm currently managing Millwall in my save.
Oh, that's really enjoyable, Millwall.
Yeah, it's quite fun. What were we doing before I got... Yeah, Mac, that was it. Did we even say anything about his team in the end? I mean, to me it's pretty template like most of the ones we've seen, but I think that's not necessarily a bad thing. He's got lots of the names that have been floated around, set pieces, takers all over the pitch. High average rating players like Terry and Bramble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, using Wheeling as the enabler.
I've got Terry and Bramble, and I expect 3-4 points every game.
Nice. And yeah, he's got a solid bench as well. Not starting Marcelino, home to Charlton. I suppose he's got heart. He's got to play him, hasn't he? I'd be tempted to play Marcelino maybe over Whaley. I don't know, actually. No, fair enough. Teams don't keep clean sheets that often, do they?
No.
How many sign-ups do we have so far, and can I promote this more? I think we were around 1,000 last we checked, maybe just under. We're hoping that we're going to push the promotion these next couple of days. But yeah, by all means, share this as much as you can. Get as many as people involved as possible.
I think a lot will sign up this week, but there's no other football going on.
Yeah,
so.
International break. People get bored quickly, I hope. Yeah, Motley Barnett. So that's the last one we've got here, and then we'll just do some questions from the chat, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So he's another of the guys behind the scenes doing lots of work to make the game run, and I've just changed off his team again. Okay.
So I thought Motley Barnett was a Man City fan. There's no City there.
He is, and that's why he's got Tiato and Howie.
Oh, I'm behind them. Don't worry, I'm behind. I'm looking at what I'm saying. Don't worry.
So he's gone a bit different though, a little bit different. So he spent 5 million. I think he's 5, isn't he? On Shea Given in goal. I can understand that with the fixtures.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a bit different. Festa, Silvestre, Tarico, they've all been named. Tarico is orange flagged, but could play. Let me just check him again, what he was. Few days with a bruised head. I don't know if that's a funny way of saying concussion in this game, but
bruised head. So you'll see him play, and then tear his calf.
More bruised head. Yeah, his head will inflate to the size of a balloon. Yeah, so he could easily play, couldn't he? I like that team as well. He's got Biscan, which I don't think many people are going for. I think I prefer him to Gerrard though. I
do. I love Biscan pick. I just don't. Again, the Liverpool fixtures for me, unfortunately.
Yeah, I can see that.
Stops me from getting Biscan or on show, which I considered. So.
Yeah, all of these are great. I think set pieces again. Tiato can do very well. I've seen Sims where the guys hit 15 goals. Again, he's on penalties, so he can score a lot. He's good. Carl Court instead of Shearer. That's where he's obviously cut the cost to afford the rest of the team. Already said I don't mind that. And he's got I like Lawson as well, who's not really getting talked about. He's 4.5 million. And because he's in the same team as Tome, I don't think a lot of people will pick him. But he also can do pretty good for average rating, and he plays at right back, so he has got added assist threat.
That's interesting. Okay.
So yeah, he could better Tome. I think his fallback will be the fact that Tome often ends the season on sort of 7.8 or something, and will get quite a lot of bonus. But yeah, the assist threat might counteract that. So Lawson's a decent option, and I don't hate the double up as a result of that as well.
That's interesting.
But yeah, fixtures are pretty well. They're not bad. They're bad to everyone else apart from Andy Tactician. But yeah, nice team that as well. I don't know. I've given all these teams up the same score. I give that like 7.5.
They're all 7.5, 10. Yeah, out of 10. 8 out of 10, maybe. It's decent.
Scala saying nice team. Just Tiato away with City playing defensive put me off him to start. Yeah, City play defensive away, but obviously as we move forward on that wing with set pieces, pens, everything, he'll be good. I think.
Again, the United treble up is good as well. So
that's it. There's a lot riding on Man United. If they have an absolute dud season, then people are in trouble, aren't they? I can't see it though.
Would you ever consider the free hit game week 2? And like, if it's annoying that Arsenal and Liverpool have got bad fixtures to start off with, I guess.
I don't think I ever do that. I think when you got information to hand that you can use, then you make use of it, if you know what I mean. And you save the free hit for either
for tougher times,
panic, or some sort of fixture change or double game weeks and stuff later down the line. I think when you're given the information to hand, to use it straight away just seems a bit rogue. I wouldn't do that.
I think it'd be more difficult maybe if Liverpool or Arsenal had a plum fixture game week 1, then you're thinking, I could start with them free hit and then still have them game week 3 if they've got a good fixture. But I guess with the fixtures the way they are, you're not going to do that.
While we're on that note, we may as well talk about the bench boost, because I think you've got quite strong views on that, haven't you? I think with the bench boost in this game, you can just, if you look at your team and you've got 2 or 3 good fixtures for your bench options, you just play it, even if it's a single game week. But we talked a little bit about this before, and you're a big fan of the double game week regardless, aren't you? Yeah,
I'm always a double game week fan for bench boost. So for me, it's always done, like the best chip for me is bench boost. And I don't know if that hinders me in like previous weeks building up to it, but I like a bench boost where it's double game week. Your bad players have 2 fixtures. Both keepers have 2 games. And the good players have single game weeks. Is where I've always found to have great weeks. So if a double game week comes along and there's some bad teams having 2 games, then that's the time for me to do it, because I get 2 keepers in and do it that way. Yeah, I've always done well with bench boost last 3 seasons, doing it that way. If you've got 2 keepers have 2 fixtures each, and your bench is good players who've got single games, and you're playing players who've got double game weeks, then that's the best time. Trying to find out those fixtures.
Nice. I can't argue with it. It's just with CM, you've got even less chance of your players all playing, haven't you? But I suppose that doesn't change.
That's true. That's true.
It doesn't change in a single game week either. You could look at your team and think it looks great and play that bench boost, and then no one on your bench even plays in that single. And I suppose you just add that to a double, then you've got more chance of them at least playing one, right? So, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I think most people will look to do that anyway, won't they?
Yeah, I mean, my basic rule for bench boost is do my two keepers have 2 fixtures each? Fine, let's go for it.
Nice.
Try and get a couple more players who've got double game weeks and do it that way.
Right, I think we're just about there. Has anyone got anything in the chat they want to ask? Any more questions? We'll quickly try and do a few bits. What's the time? 11:15? Yeah, I've got work tomorrow, so...
Yeah, better get to bed.
Better get to bed.
Exciting week though ahead. I can't wait for Thursday night to come. And
I can't wait
to have FPL mode, Andy and FPL Lions Luke do the Thursday is going to be really good as well. So we had a dress rehearsal on Thursday kind of thing where we were giving them some stick in the chat and they were doing all right. So it's going to be exciting Thursday.
I agree. Christopher C saying, may I ask why Good Johnson is so overpriced? The Sims point to very average goals. Yeah, maybe he is a little bit overpriced. I'll concede that, but he is, as it appears, the starting striker and the most nailed in the Chelsea team that are quite attacking and quite decent. So, again, he can have standout seasons. So I suppose it's more a just in case. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to take the full blame. We all put in price points for that. We all came up with that. In general, we wanted to buff the forwards across the board, just because they were too good in comparison to other positions. But yeah, it maybe is a little bit overpriced. I wouldn't start with him either. And
no one's gone Dean Sturridge, have they? Because you've just overpriced him.
Yeah, I suppose he was he 5.5 last season. I mean, that was a tragedy, to be honest. He should have been more.
Yeah, and he's just too much now.
Yeah, sorry everyone. See, in my mind, I had it where people are going to pick their defence and their midfield, and it's going to settle, and they're going to swap in and out forwards on fixtures and bring in these heavy hitters and captain them, but it doesn't always work out like that, does it?
No, and because I personally think the forwards are too overly priced. That's why I've gone for defenders, expensive defenders. I think you can get the value out of those this season, but I could be proved wrong. I mean, Reid Van Nistelrooy could get 40 goals. I've got him, but then Shearer could get 30 goals. Duke could get 30 goals again. And all of a sudden, I'm scrambling towards trying to get another premium in my team. So a bit worried about that.
There was Stephen Hughes. Someone asked, Christopher C again. That was his promotion campaign. 46 games, 8 goals, 28 assists, 6 man of the match awards, 7.80 average rating.
That's insane, isn't it?
And that's why he's 8 million, because he's a very good player. Long ball under Kinnear though.
Yeah.
Someone saying Sir Rodney Wallace. Yeah, a few sort of simmers have noticed that Wallace does pretty well in season 2. Cheap way into the Bolton attack. On penalties quite often as well. Don't hate that at all.
I would still say Pedersen's a good pick as well. If you can bench Pedersen game week 2, 3 home fixtures in the opening 4, I would say that's my tip. It's Pedersen. I know he's 9.5. I know he's expensive, but
he's expensive for a reason. He does very well on sim data, and
I really like him.
He's kind of like Phillips, where he plays 35 or more a season.
Yeah, and he'll very rarely get under 15 goals a season.
Yeah, and he can do all right for average rating because he plays in that AMC spot, which seems to work for Bolton and not many other teams. They seem to do well for that average rating in that spot, whereas it's quite a tricky position for most teams to get high average rating there. But it works for them, however they've set up. Pedersen is great. People saying, okay, I'm sold, Dyer, you're not getting in. I'm going for Stephen Hughes. Fair play. All good.
Fine, I don't mind it.
Right, I think we'll end it there then, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it was helpful. We're all buzzing for Thursday. I'm excited because I'm about to go and sim the game and see what the scores are and then keep silent as to what's going on. So that'll be the hardest thing, keeping silent for the next few days and watching everyone stew on what's going on.
And I'm not getting that this season. Like last season, it was so much fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, now you're with us, mate. You're with the rabble.
So yeah, guys, I'm going to lock my team in, I think, tonight. And then Thursday night, I'll be watching it with you guys live. So I'm trying to avoid everything.
Yeah, so actually I'll explain very briefly on that. So obviously we've got a core team behind the scenes. I'm the only one who's going to have the advanced information like Simple Goal had last time, Dave. Most of the time, sometimes Andy would step in with him. The core team are going to lock in their teams early, so they're not going to know any of the information. They're going to maybe know about it 2 days before it actually goes live, but obviously they'll have locked in their team previously. That's up to them if they want to know. Some of them got no choice because they have to obviously put the stats on, put the points on the site, stuff like that. Some people do have a choice as to whether they look at it or not. Tala, for example, this season has decided he doesn't want to be involved at all and revoked all access, so he will be one of the scrubs like you guys. And Andy, like you just mentioned there, will lock in his team early and then obviously try and enjoy it with the rest of you guys and not be involved in any of the stuff behind the scene, which I think quite a lot of them are doing because it is more fun to do it that way, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, and with a week break, it's not like we can reveal the injuries and stuff the following week, so it's nice and spread out rather than a quick 2 or 3 days turnaround, which is what we were doing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's easier to do that, so...
That's the thing I'll probably miss from season 1 more than anything is the pace. Obviously, we didn't have real football, and the pace of the game was every 2 days. It was frantic. So yeah, I will miss that. But at the same time, when we've got other fantasy games going on, I think it's nice just to have that time. Obviously, the games will go out Thursday, and then we're gonna do the streams on Sunday. So that's when you'll sort of have a few days to think of your plan in your mind. Sunday will then tell you, your plans were a waste of time because you've got 7 injuries to deal with, and then you'll have obviously another few days before you can sort your team out in preparation for the next Thursday. All right.
Indeed.
Goodbye then. Thank you very much, everyone, and good luck
Goodbye,
for game week.
Guys, get Petkov in your team because I want to see you fail game week 1. So.
See you later, everyone.
See you later.